What exactly is climate change? And why should we care? Climate change is a long-term change in the Earth's climate, especially a change due to an increase in the average atmospheric temperature. Climate change is a very important and serious issue which affects Canada and the world in many drastic ways. 97% of climate scientists agree that climate change is not just caused by orbiting of the Earth, but in fact mainly caused by human activity. Humans are releasing more carbon dioxide than nature ever has before. Due to climate change, precipitation volumes and period change, as well as temperature and CO2 concentrations in the air, and soil and water change. This has a direct effect on agricultural productivity and on the quality of products. In addition, as a result of climate change, there is an increase in the number and strength of extreme weather events, such as storms and floods. They have fatal impacts on food production. A large part of the global population fears for its livelihood. Agriculture. 80% of people in developing countries depend on it. In numerous regions, the risk of crop failure due to storms, hurricanes, typhoons, floods, or drought periods is increasing as a consequence of climate change. There may be a collapse of food growth production and will cause spiraling prices that lead millions of people to extreme hunger. Alongside poverty and hunger, climate change will also cause many other major changes, such as sea level rise. Sea levels rise because as the ocean gets warmer, it swells and melts glaciers and ice sheets. This process is known as thermal expansion. A sea level rise of just 2 feet can cause $1 trillion worth of flood damage. If nothing is done and sea levels continue to rise, by the year 2050, many coastal regions such as Mumbai, Shanghai, Tokyo, New York, Sao Paulo will be completely flooded. If climate change isn't stopped, the world would suffer dramatically. That's why climate change is now a major political issue. The government needs to become more involved and needs to help stop the rising temperatures. Canada's government is helping to stop global warming by ending carbon emissions in Canada and coming together with citizens to think about solutions towards this issue. Alberta's climate change strategy includes a tax on carbon, a cap on oil sand emissions, a phasing out of coal-fired electricity, and an emphasis on wind power. The Government of Canada will protect Canada's communities and grow our own economy by making significant new investments in green infrastructure and clean technologies. The government will also work with the provinces and territories to develop a Canadian energy strategy to protect Canada's energy security, encourage energy conservation, and bring cleaner renewable energy into electricity grid. Canada is also committed to supporting the poorest and most vulnerable countries to adapt to the adverse effects of climate change. Some things you can do to help climate change are taking public transit, making less airplane trips, putting solar panels on your roof, eating less meat, and exercise your rights as a citizen. Help stop climate change.
Created using Powtoon.